Hello and welcome everyone. This is going to be an MVIS breakdown. So this is the opener of the market and we're looking to create a game plan. We're looking to find our controlling prints and then we're looking to create a game plan based off of those. MVIS has been a hot stock. We know Friday it was on a tear, great volume, over 100 million total. So expecting some range here. So we're just looking for that first show of hand in terms of the open to really base a trade off of. So we're approaching 2050 here. I'm going to assume we get some bids above print personality. Print personality is about, it's really thin right now, but I'm going to give it about 4 to 5 just to be conservative and make sure that when I see a burst that's over print personality, it really is over print personality. But as you see, it's really single burst at the current moment. We know this can really print, a million in volume on a minute bar. It really shows that it has the ability to print fairly large at the levels. So we're just setting up a game plan here. Kind of just in consolidation here. So we know 20 is not an easy level to hold, so we know there's going to be some games here as well. So kind of expected that they're on this 20 level. Not the greatest level, as you can see during the pre-market how many times it broke above and then came back and tested and then broke back above, and now this morning we came back and broke back under and now back above. So 20 level games are expected to be there, so we want to really make sure this gets away from 20 to really establish a game plan. So just in a consolidation here, just honestly looking for the controlling prints at the moment. I have no confirmed read right now to be able to take a trade either way, and I understand that, and I'm still waiting to create a game plan, and that's okay because I know this stock's going to have some range today. Even if it's just average, which is $2.26, we can get a 50-cent trade out of there at least. So we're just waiting. Still in a consolidation. Nothing confirming. Nothing significant at 20 either really show. No great selling or great buying really to show anything. So let's see, 2050 asks. That's above print personality, okay. And then reaction was 0.60. I like that. I think this shows that our pullback's not going to be as quick, or it's going to be quick, and our pullback's not going to be long. I don't expect this to come back under 20 and test just from that sheer reaction. That sheer reaction was above print personality. As you see, our print personality right now is fairly thin. So, and then that 0.60 was above print personality, and now we push into 2080 and some ask above print personality there as well. Not too much over print personality. I would even give it at print personality, which is nice. But we can't chase this long right now. We can't. We need to pull back under 2050 to really get a solid entry. 0.86 there. That's nice off level right there. That really shows we can break 21, but I'm expecting a quick little pullback from those 2050 ask. And if you look at the volume as well, we just hit highest volume of the day so far. Great ask at 21 above print personality, even more of a reason to pull back. Now we get to see if this waxes here. This pullback is a potential entry, depending on volume. If we continue to wax and higher volume, or we stay above 1 million, I think that pullback would be fairly quick. We just need the continuation of volume above 1 million. And we know we had that reaction under 21 that really shows we can break, so pullback's going to be fairly quick here. And if you're not long and your pullback rules have not been satisfied in order to get an entry, completely understandable. 21, I took those as 21 ask. They showed up on my main computer as 21 ask, so way above print personality. So now we have 2050 above print personality, 21 above print personality. So, and our volume stayed consistent, and we waxed over 1 million, so that's a good sign. Now it's in the position, okay, that this is pullback territory. We can't chase this long, in my opinion, without the proper pullback. 2050 never gave us a proper pullback for an entry. Now 21 never gave us a proper pullback with an entry. And just clicking long, We know off level was there to show that it was a continuation, 2150, but you have to be a higher percent trader to even take that long. So now 3 levels without a proper pullback. Great volume. As you see, this volume is better than what we got at the open. 22 great prints right there above print personality. Still can't take this long. We can't chase this. Even though this volume is waxing and it's great, it never gave us that proper entry. So we're waxing highest volume of the day. Best case scenario right now is we push 2250, get great ask above print personality, and then we get $1 pullback from the multiple levels that it hasn't pulled back from. And we wouldn't want volume to be waxing. We'd want volumes to start dipping off within the pullback as well. So be mindful of that. We do not want to take a short on waxing volume. Typically that means we'll have a quick pullback, and we want $1 pullback at minimal here for how it's told us that it has not pulled back from levels yet. So, and it's smooth trading right now, so I assume that the pullback would be fairly all at once. And 2250 is our psychological level, so that is our ideal spot for a pullback. We know the largest pullbacks always come at our psychological levels when they're extended. We never got a proper entry to go long in terms of a pullback. There was a couple opportunities, but nothing that was crazy high percentage in terms of a pullback to enter a long to get your number 4 trade. And now we're just looking for our number 1 short trade. 2250, that's not as big as previous levels. So at this point, I'm looking for a pullback trade, and it looks like volume is kind of slowing down here as well. As you can see, it's not waxing as high as it was. It just doesn't look like we're going to be able to sustain over 1 million in these next few bars. $22.50 was our great place to look for this short here. I would have taken a shot under $22.50, and now we have 22. So I would have been in short under $22.50, and now we get 22 bids. Now I have to be real mindful of those 22 they can pull up, right? They can be a catalyst for a continuation to the long side. So I have to be very cautious right now. And also we're dipping off a little bit of volume. Volume's still great, over 1 million, but it seems it's going to take a dip here. And just how the chart is consolidating, the price action bars are smaller, just shows that volume is also decreasing. So got to be really careful here. Price target is 21.50. Our number 1 short trade. But those 22, got to be really mindful because that could pull up very quickly because that was above print personality. So $1 pullback is conservative in my opinion. As you can see, the volume did not end up waxing like we said. It kind of started to not to fizzle out, but you could see the momentum decreasing, not only in the tape but also in the price action. So that's a good sign for our pullback. We know if that volume can't sustain, the percentage of it continuing to the upside is a lot less, and how overextended it is makes for a good pullback entry with 22 as a psych level. And you got to be real careful here because we know that this could turn into a number 4 long trade really easy here. Setting up in a flag here with the volume dip, we know it's not going to stop trading. We're going to get a volume dip here and then another spike. We're probably going to get another 1 million to 1.4 million bar. So nice off level there, 0.81. I mean, there's our pullback trade, but the thing is also you have to be really mindful when these pullbacks like this on dipping volume is that oftentimes they can turn into a number 4 long trade, so you have to be ready to get out as well. Especially something in the morning like this with high volume, over 1 million. You got to be ready for that number 4 long trade and to get out of your short. But in this case, we had so many levels from 20.50, 21, 21.50, 22, and 22.50 without a pullback. a dollar pullback is pretty conservative here. So, dipping volume. Let's make sure you keep an eye on this volume, how it reacts. I know I say dipping like it's a bad thing, or dipping as like, oh, it's not trading a lot. I mean, the dip is still great. The volume is over 600,000. Like, that's for a dip, that's insanely good. 22.50. Okay, that shows us someone came in new buying 22 or 22.20. Sorry, apologize. Under 22.50. That really shows a possible number 4 trade here, but the volume's going to need a wax here. We're going to need a hit over 1.4 million to the upside. It already showed us what it needs to really get a move on, right? And for this to break this double top area, we're going to need at least 1.4 million. I keep an eye and mark down that 22.20. That's new buying. That person really shows us that this has the ability to break 20.50. Why would you print like that if this stock is going to pull back to, say, 21 or 20.50, you know? Put yourself in their shoes, and they know with that size, they're controlling. They have an idea of what's going to happen next, and that really shows us that this pullback's probably going to be limited in range. So we're getting our pullback here, and as you see that we didn't really break above that 1.4 million for a trigger to the upside. Never gave the proper continuation in volume to the upside to break. The prints were nice, and we have those written down. 21.50 bids. It really seems like we're getting ready to start waxing here. Personally would have been out of this short on the break back above 22. So, I mean, you could have re-entered, but you'd have to be really quick with your entry and understand that this needs at least a dollar pullback. But now we have our dollar pullback, and we know volume is great. Don't expect them to bring this back down to under 21. They have significant volume to build with. That 22.20 position was really nice. Shows the capability of us breaking 22.50. So we're looking for a number 4 trade right now. And if you're in the short, you're just picking your spots to manage the trade and get out. We're just still setting up as of now. Volume needs to wax here for us to get back to 22.50, and if it doesn't and we enter a volume dip, we can see this back under 21.50. $21.80, nice position there on the ask. A buy like that on this pullback is a good sign for a number 4 trade long. Some nice buying under 22. If you ask at 22, nothing that's going to hold us back. kind of summarize some of the trade here as this is setting up in a volume dip. Really has the capability to run a 23 out of this pattern here. Larger stair step pattern, whatever you want to call it. But we know we were waiting in the morning to develop a game plan and find our controlling prints. We got 2250 asked and never gave us a pullback. 21 never gave us a pullback. 2150 never gave us a pullback. 22 never gave us a pullback. 2250 never gave us a pullback. We know 2250 is our psychological level. That's where majority of stocks come back to reality when they're overextended like that. Got our trigger down, ended up giving us a $1 pullback, and now we're in territory for a number 4 trade. But in order to have that number 4 trade, we need to understand, outline what volume is needed. What we've seen the off level that really gives us an indication of a possible number 4, and all this money is long. All smart money is long at the current moment. 2050, 21, 2150, 22, 2250. They've showed at controlling levels that they are long. It's just a matter of them showing us, are they going to build under 21, under 2150, or are we going to blast out of the stair step right here for a number 4 trade long above 2250? And volume is going to be our best friend to determine which one is going to be our case scenario, right? We're entering a volume dip. We got price actions to the upside. Off level is coming in on the ask. Price action. We're going to need a wax here. We're going to need a wax over 1 million as well to get over 22 and sustain itself as well. Price target would be 23 to start. Dip in volume under a double top. It's just really setting up for a breakout to the upside. Be real mindful of the volume right now. It's setting up. We would have taken that short at 2250 for a number 1 short trade to about 2150 for a $1 trade, and then we understand that on this great volume and this hot stock, number 4 is highly likely. So we ended up doing that, and also the off level as well told us that number 4 trade was also highly likely, and now we're in position 2250 ask. Now we just need that volume to wax here, or else we're coming right back. So where we go, we're waxing above 1 million. 23, expecting ask there. Just gotta be real careful. 23 ask will tell us to need the pullback as well. So if you're long in this, we'll have to see the reaction as well though to 23. I mean, I'm not seeing the crazy buying under 23 at the current moment to say we're gonna blast off. Volume was great though. That was exactly what we needed in terms of waxing volume. Now we just need a continuation of that. This needs to show consistent volume over 1.4 million if we're really going to make a move to, say, 24. And the likelihood of this waxing right now is not as high. Just doesn't give off the ability to really get a move on in terms of the price action. Big order at 23. I really would have expected some more wax within the second bar. It's been pretty average, which means great volume, 1 million, but to really get a move on, we really need a web 1.4 up in the 1.8 million as well. To really get a move on, 23 ask, way above print personality, largest burst we have seen so far. Have to expect building right there. You got to be real careful. And then also look at the volume. Be real mindful of that volume. We really need to wax above that 1.4. Get some continuation to really get a jet on to the upside. If you're long here and you see that 23 ask way above print personality, that's almost double than what we've seen at other levels. I'm really anticipating a pullback here. The volume just doesn't look like it's going to sustain itself in terms of waxing. So expecting at least a 50-cent pullback here. As you can see, volume didn't wax, right? And with that much at 23. So, got to be real careful here. Expecting a pullback here. Or we get a continuation of the wax of the bar. But I think the pullback is a lot higher of percentage just from them showing how much they at 23. It's no joke. That is, we need to build on this position, not money time position, in my opinion. And I mean, as you can see as well as 22.50 above, we're not seeing that shorter term buying stepping in as well. It's just not there. No shorter term buying to show that we're gonna make a move to 23.50. Really nothing noticeable that stands out in terms of buying here to really show us time frame of them building at 23. Expecting a 50-cent pullback here. If not, the further away the better for a number one short trade. Or if you're in this number 4 long trade, you would already have limited your exposure from the 23 ask there, and you could let your trade run. But look at the volume. It's just not the price action, and the total volume is just average at best, you know? And where's this off-level short-term buying at? I just don't see it. A million is great in volume, but to really get a move on, we need above 1.4, up in the 1.8. Be real careful here. As you can see, like our buying above 23 has been minimal. Short-term buying, someone's going to make money. They're saying now is minimal. Still expecting that pullback from 23. Volume doesn't look like it has really any chance of waxing here, or minimal chance at least. Enter another volume dip, and then we get another pullback to at least 22.50, and then we evaluate. Bid at 23. There's our pullback. Boom, pullback. See, as you can see, look at the volume as well. We're not waxing on this pullback trade, right? We understood they needed to build from the 23. They showed us that. The way they printed the mount. And then the fact that we didn't get any waxing volume, we know that's what we needed to really get a move on to the upside. About 1.4 to 1.8 million. Because that's what it's already showed us this morning. Didn't get that. It's consistent. I mean, dipping off. That's what we want for our pullbacks. We don't want waxing volume for pullbacks. That's not always the best sign. And there's your pullback trade from 23. I mean, that told us at least $1 pullback. And we're going to be entering close to 10 a.m. as well. Keep that in the back of our minds. There's your $1 pullback from 23. And that's the trade right there. Didn't chase the first parabolic move this morning with the great buying. We took a short for $1. Understood that the off-level buying was coming in. The new buying was coming in long on the pullback, and we knew that it was great volume. Has the ability to create a stair-step flag pattern. and then triggered to the long side. We ended up getting our volume that we needed to break out to the upside. Ended up pushing into 23 with great volume. Ash prints above print personality that were significantly more than any other level. We ended up getting a clean $1 pullback trade, number one short trade. So a number one short trade turned to a number four short trade, back to a number one short trade. And then we kept an eye on volume. We understand what volume was needed to really break out. We understood what was needed for consistent breakout above 23 in terms of volume. The waxing, what did it need to look like? And we didn't get that, and we ended up understanding that they needed a pullback to build from the 23 ask. Not waxing, and 23 what they showed us. We knew at least conservatively a 50-cent pullback. But in that case, from how much they showed and the range we have, it just $1 makes sense for their pullback, if not more. But $1 conservative. And that's just the summary of our first half an hour of the morning. We got the opportunity not to chase, right? And then we took a number one short trade. And then we took a number four, and then another number one. This will make any trading day right here. Great volume, hot stock, trading over 1 million consistently. Got overextended, pullback. A move out of if you even look at it, it is a measured move, really. Right? We get a move up, consolidates, another move up out of the consolidation. And what happens after measured moves is we typically come back. We never got the waxing volume to show that we were going to continuation to the upside. 23 ask was building prints. Pullback for the market maker to build. That was our trade right there. And I'm going to end it right here. I don't want this video to get too long because I know that not everyone has the time and ability to really watch a full 40-minute video. But overall, for the next half an hour, we end up the market maker just ends up building around this area. So nothing in the volume ends up obviously dipping off, which makes sense, right? Volume dips off. We don't have the same price action. Starts to consolidate. Market maker starts to build. And that was our trade there. That's my thought process with these trades, how I created a game plan, how I didn't chase, how I understood what levels to look for a number one short trade, and then also understand that this is a hot stock with great volume, that the building is going to be fairly quick. Dollar pullback makes sense, right? But then we have to understand as well that we're entering a volume dip, and a number four long trade is also very likely. We ended up getting the trigger out, and then our number four trade worked out for about $1, and then they showed us they needed to build again, and we didn't get our waxing volume, and then we took our short trade based off of them needing to build, and the fact that we didn't get that waxing volume, and now they're building. We know that the money is long, right? All that money we've seen is long. That 23 was no joke. That 23 lets us know that this stock has the ability to get to 25, right? To print that large at 23, you have the confidence that this is going to go at least $2 in your direction. But as well, you're the market maker. When you print that much at 23, you're controlling the stock. And for you to print that much at that level and show everyone this is my position, you have to build and you have to pull back. Or else they wouldn't have printed that much if they didn't want the ability to build under, right? All right, well, thank you all for watching these videos, and if you're a consistent watcher, I appreciate your support. Any feedback is welcome. I know I'm not the greatest at these breakdowns, getting better articulating what I think and how I perceive things, and I will only continue to get better. Thank you all, and have a wonderful rest of whatever time of day it is for you.